Hello, my name is Grace San. I will be presenting about the energy system of Singapore. Starting with Singapore's country profile, Singapore has a population of approximately 6.1 million and a density of 8,400 people per square kilometer, being one of the most population dense cities in the world. Singapore's biome is a tropical rainforest, and its ecosystem is studded with urban landscapes. The city has a hot temperature, recording about 26.8 degrees Celsius during January and December, and about 28.6 degrees Celsius during May. Alongside its hot climate, Singapore is a humid city, having about 2,100 to 2,200 millimeters of rainfall annually. There isn't much variation in its weather as the year goes on, resulting in no distinct seasons. Singapore's major resources are sunlight, biomass, coal, and oil. Coal and oil, although they still are resources, are not produced in considerable quantities. From an environmental perspective, Singapore faces severe land limitations, which make large-scale onshore renewable energy difficult to implement. At the same time, coastal and marine ecosystems must be carefully protected, especially as more energy infrastructure moves offshore. These challenges are further intensified by climate change, which increases the risks of heat waves and sea level rise, placing additional stress on both energy demand and coastal infrastructure. Economically, Singapore's heavy reliance on imported fuels exposes the country to global price volatility and geopolitical risks. This creates uncertainty for households and industries alike. In addition, many of Singapore's key economic sectors, such as manufacturing, ports, and data centers, require highly reliable and uninterrupted power, meaning energy security cannot be compromised. Finally, transitioning into a diversified energy system involves high upfront infrastructure costs. These must be carefully balanced against long-term savings, improved price stability, and reduced dependence on external energy sources. This is a graph of the current energy generation mix of Singapore. Analyzing this numerically, we can see that over 92% of Singapore's energy is based on natural gas. Solar energy, coal, oil, and biomass takes up small portions of its energy. This graph showcases the energy demand of Singapore monthly. We can see that the peak energy demand is reached between the months May and July during the more recent years. This map shows Singapore's electricity transmission system, which connects power generation plants to major substations across the island. Electricity is mainly generated at large power stations such as Senoko, Tuas, and Pulau Seraya, shown here in red. From these stations, power is transmitted at 400 kilovolts, the highest voltage level, to minimize energy lost over long distances. The 400 kilovolt grid, marked by red lines, forms the backbone of the system and links key substations like Ayer Rajah, Labrador, and Kelang Basin. These act as central hubs that redistribute electricity. From there, voltage is stepped down to 230 kilovolts, shown in yellow, and delivered to regional substations in areas such as Jurong, Choa Chu Kang, Tampines, and Paya Lebar. This allows electricity to be supplied efficiently to homes, businesses, and industries. Major energy infrastructures of Singapore include the Senoko Power Station, which was shown in the map we have just observed, the Sekrom floating solar plant, and the Tembusu Multi-Utilities Complex. Energy usage within the city mainly revolves around the industrial sector and the commercial sector. Comparatively, the consumption of electricity within the residential and transportation sectors are low. Now, I would like to propose my energy plan for Singapore. Singapore is one of the most energy-intensive cities in the world, yet it has no domestic fossil fuel resources, extremely limited land, high population density, and a strong dependence on imported natural gas of over 92%. This creates three major risks. First, energy security risk. Second, price volatility. Third, carbon emissions. Considering these risks, this is my new proposed energy generation mix. Natural gas remains an important transitional energy source because Singapore already has extensive gas infrastructure. Gas power plants can ramp up quickly, which is essential for maintaining grid stability, and they produce lower emissions compared to coal or oil. In this plan, natural gas use is reduced from about 92% to 45% by retrofitting plants with carbon capture and storage and making turbines hydrogen ready. Generation remains concentrated on Jurong Island and the Tuas Power Hub, where existing pipelines and industrial zoning supports large power production. Solar energy is well suited to Singapore due to high year-round solar irradiance and a politically stable, predictable climate. It is also scalable and fast to deploy. Because land is limited, this plan focuses on maximizing vertical space by installing solar panels on rooftops of HDBs, schools, and factories, as well as floating solar farms on Teneg and Bedok reservoirs. Vertical solar panels would also be integrated into expressway noise barriers, high-rise facades, and port and airport infrastructure, allowing clean energy generation without competing with housing. Nuclear energy provides stable, zero-carbon baseload power and is extremely land efficient. Small modular reactors are chosen because they have a smaller footprint, use passive safety systems, and present a lower overall risk profile. They can also be placed underground or offshore, which suits Singapore's space constraints. Proposed locations include an underground SMR facility near Tuas and an offshore SMR on artificial island infrastructure, both located away from dense population centers and within industrial zones. Waste to energy plays a key role because Singapore already incinerates most of its waste. Expanding the system reduces reliance on Semakau landfill while providing stable, dispatchable power. Facilities would be located in Tuas South and at integrated waste hubs near Semakau, allowing waste management and energy generation to be efficiently combined. Tidal and marine energy is a creative addition to Singapore's energy mix. Singapore relies amongst major shipping straits with strong and predictable tidal flows, and marine energy can generate electricity at night, complementing solar power. This approach is realistic because it relies on small-scale modular deployment with minimal visual impact and the ability to expand if successful. Key locations include the Johor Straits and the Southern Islands, where marine conditions are most suitable. This is the map of my proposed energy plan. Singapore's energy distribution would rely on a strengthened smart grid supported by AI-driven load balancing and battery storage at substations to manage demand and ensure stability. In addition, microgrids would be implemented in industrial parks, hospitals, military facilities, and data centers, allowing these sites to operate independently during disruptions. This approach enables faster recovery after outrages, increases local energy independence, and reduces peak stress on the national grid. An overview of the capacity planning is this: fewer large plants, more distributed generation, and next, solar reduces daytime peak demand, nuclear and gas cover baseload, and lastly, storage smooths variability. Economically, this energy plan reduces fuel import costs, lowering Singapore's exposure to global price volatility. It also creates high-skills jobs in areas such as nuclear energy, grid AI systems, and tidal technology, while strengthening long-term energy price stability. However, these benefits come with challenges, including high upfront capital costs, the need for workforce retraining, and the development of a robust nuclear regulatory framework. From an environmental perspective, the plan delivers a major reduction in carbon emissions, decreases reliance on landfills, and improves overall air quality. At the same time, it introduces environmental challenges, particularly nuclear waste management, potential marine ecosystem disruption from tidal projects, and environmental impacts associated with the large-scale construction. Socially, cleaner energy leads to better public health, while improved energy security strengthens national resilience. This transition also supports long-term job creation. However, challenges remain, including the public concern over nuclear energy, the visual impact of solar infrastructure, and ensuring equity in job transitions as the energy sector evolves. Thank you, and this is my citation.